afternoon and welcome to Connections, and I'm your host, Pastor Kevin McGee of the Victory Temple Church of God in Christ. You're listening to us on IntellectualRadio.com. You can also listen to us on iHeartRadio. Connections is a show designed to keep you connected to the Christian community, so sit back and relax as we get connected. If you wish to become a Connection sponsor, please reach out to me at bishop1915@gmail.com, or you can inbox me on Facebook. If you need a daycare or after-school provider for your child, contact Ms. Longstreet at 708-240-4060. They are enrolling ages 6 weeks to 12 years of age, experienced licensed family child care provider located in the Hillside community. The hours of operations are 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they are CDR, CDA, CPR, and first aid certified. They offer a nurturing, safe, and smoke-free environment. Nutritious meals and snacks are provided. This is a place where children learn and have fun. Again, you can contact Ms. Longstreet at 708-240-4060. Nature Sunshine. Have you met your weight loss goals of 2017? Listen, 2017 is halfway over. If you haven't met your weight loss goal, you really need to patronize Nature Sunshine. They offer products that can aid you in the medical challenges such as high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, fibromyalgia, cancer, arthritis, or any other condition in your body. If you have poor circulation, frequent colds, flu, or chronic fatigue, or perhaps you just want to maintain a healthy body, give Nature Sunshine a try. You can contact my wife, Dr. Karen McGee, on her website at www.victoriousliving.mynsp.com, or you can also contact her at 708-302-5655. And if you want to be healthy on the inside, you can also all your Mary Kay needs. Family Day celebration. The Victory Temple Church of God in Christ will be in their Family Day celebration tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock p.m. We're located at 2000 West Roosevelt Road in Broadview, Illinois. We are in the Community Presbyterian Church building. And tomorrow our guest speaker will be the Pastor Edgar Aaron of the Everybody Bible Church. You don't want to miss this great event. Family and friends, feel free to come out and share with us in our Family Day celebration. Today we have a young lady. She is an entrepreneur. This is Entrepreneur Saturday. Listen, it's all about love to do and making money at it. Amen, amen. Listen, the Bible does say money answers all purposes, and so it's great when you can have a craft that you love to do and you can get paid doing it. We have with us LaTorya Street. She is an agent and the owner of Street Insurance Agency Incorporated. And so we're just so glad for her to be here. And the reason why I wanted to do a show centered around insurance, especially people in our community, the African American community, whether it be life insurance, car insurance, homeowners insurance, renters insurance, we don't have insurance. We had a young man a few months ago talking about burial insurance. You know, we shouldn't have to, do a GoFundMe page because your loved one has passed on. And so we want to stress the importance of insurance in our communities. You go to other communities of other ethnicities, everything is set up for them. They have it set up. They come together. Whatever they have to do lacks when it comes to having insurance or a good amount of insurance. And so we're going to pick your brains today, find out what we need to do. First of all, tell us a little bit about who you are.
Who am I? So oftentimes I get that question, and I can go on and on about myself. But the short of it is, as he said, I'm the owner of the Street State Farm Insurance Agency, located on the west side of Chicago at 5937 West Madison Street. I've been in business for 8 years. I did start from ground up. Single mother of 2 boys, and normally when I'm asked that question, my answer is I'm just a fearless woman of God trying to provide a positive lifestyle for my sons. But as I think about it more, and everyone that depends on family to So therefore, I have instilled that in the remainder of the family members of mine. So I've had my nieces and my cousins and nephews now have went on to get their college graduate. But mostly, I'm just a fearless, mighty woman of God.
Right. And what college did you come out of?
I graduated from Chicago State University, so I did stay home. I stayed local. Was a mama's girl.
So that I went to University of Illinois, Chicago. I stayed home, so I met my wife. So I didn't go away. I had a fear of going away, partying and messing up, and having to come back home, stay away. Nah, I said I'm not gonna do all of that. I'm gonna just stay here, save money or what have you. And but it was an awesome experience. Both of my sons are students at Concordia University.
Okay.
And told my daughter, I said, staying home is the best deal for you. She said, Dad, I'm going away. I said, okay, staying home is the best deal for you. But anyway,
Well, yeah, part of the reason I stayed home is because I am a teenage mother. My son is 20 years old, and then I have a 15-year-old. So I had to stay to take care of him.
And you mentioned a woman of God. So what church are you a member of?
I am a member of New Life Covenant with Pastor John Hanna.
John Fitzgerald Hanna. Yes. Probably the largest and fastest, one of the largest and fastest growing ministries in the city of Chicago. Shout out to Pastor John F. Hanna. I have a lot of friends that are members of his church. And so, place, know that you are getting the word. Amen, amen. All right, so Farm, they are the people.
No, that's all state.
That's all state. My fault. State Farm. Like a good neighbor. State Farm has been if I'm not mistaken, they've been a long time sponsor for the Chicago Auto Show.
Correct.
Because I have gone to a State Farm office and gotten my passes. No, I threw that out there. I did this a little to break it up, make it more comfortable for you. You know about Allstate. I don't want to ever. Let me be quiet. I might need them one day. But anyway, State Farm gets my vote. All right. Give us a little bit about some of the insurance programs that you have for people that are in the market for life insurance, especially. Tell us a little bit about what your company offers.
So at State Farm, we offer, of course, auto insurance. We're the #1 auto provider. We have personal and commercial auto insurance. When it comes to the fire side, when you speak of homeowners, a lot of times individuals think that they don't own a home, that they can't have insurance, but renters insurance is one of our most popular products as well. And we have other products along the fire line. When it comes to life insurance, we do offer a lot of different variety of life insurance, but we'll think of as term and whole life insurance, and we do offer both of those products. And we also offer some health products as well.
Right. And term from a lot of people, they don't, they get confused when they look at the different types of policies that they could get. And when I many moons ago when I was into insurance, one of the biggest question is what's the whole life. So can you elaborate on that for some of our listeners out there?
Yes. So the easiest way and the best way that I normally explain it is term and whole life insurance. If you look at renting versus owning. So a term policy will be renting. You're paying the money to the landlord, and when you're ready to end that lease, you just walk away and no longer have any insurance. And if you own a home, you have whole life insurance. So therefore, you're paying into that policy. And when you're ready to walk away, there's some equity or cash value built into that whole life policy. So there's opportunities where you will be able to get money back.
Okay. So if you need to borrow on your insurance or something like that?
Yes, you can do that with a whole life policy.
Whole life term, you cannot. Mm-hmm. There are some companies that push the term and they offer an alternative as far as the cash money value, such as a mutual fund. But with State Farm, you can just do everything through whole life.
Correct. But on a case-by-case basis, there are some term policies where at the end you can get money back. But when we sit down with the individual clients, we do talk to them about the different term policies we offer as well.
Okay. Shout out to some of the people that are watching through Facebook. V. Rogers, Demetria Brand Triplet, Abronia Scott, and Betty Jackson. Good to see all of you guys out there as we are on. Demetria says a great explanation on term versus whole life insurance. Yes, because that's a big thing. And a lot of people, one of the reasons why a lot of people don't have insurance, they're confused to do. And and they talk to this insurance rep, they talk to this insurance rep, and everybody seems to be saying different things, and so they're just trying to wrap their minds around it. And so what happens is they put it off until they can have a better chance to look it over, and they never go back to look it over, and they never go back to sign up for it. You know, in your experience, one reason why people
Cost. A lot of people believe that they can't afford insurance.
Okay, so now here's a scenario. All right, I'm a married father of 5.
Mm-hmm.
And make about 30,000 a year,
Mm-hmm.
and my wife might make 25,000. I'm just throwing it out there. And so we have a home, we have a car, we have all the expenses that come with having 5 children. Possible insurance for the least amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
How do you sit down with me and break down what I'm able to afford?
The first portion of the answer to that question is the best possible insurance is the insurance policy that's enforced when your wife and your kids need that policy.
Okay.
So if your budget can only afford a term and you buy that term and next month your family needs that policy, your wife is going to be happy that that's the policy that you bought. So that's one of the biggest things where when I sit down with customers and we might determine they need a whole life policy and not a term policy, but they only can afford a term policy, we talk about let's get something in place right now so we can lock you into coverages. Have term insurance, there it's easier for us to convert you to a whole life policy without any additional underwriting because you already have term insurance in force, opposed to not getting anything and something happened medically where you can't for insurance. So,
and that was going to actually be my next question. If I have a pre-existing insurance, am I insurable? I mean, a pre-existing condition, am I insurable?
So that's going to be on a case-by-case basis. There are some pre-existing conditions that are insurable. Of course, it might cost a little more, and also it's going to determine how long ago you was diagnosed with that pre-existing condition.
Okay.
So that's not an absolute no.
All right.
So, but they can't just think that okay, I got a pre-existing condition, I'm not going to try. You have to try.
And I think that's the mindset people have because they've heard that over and over again. Pre-existing conditions, you're not going to be able to qualify for insurance, and so they don't even try. When Grandma found out she was diagnosed with cancer, the smaller little policies that she had, through her younger years, $1,000 to $2,000 policy is going to have to be enough because she's not going to be able to qualify for something that's really going to make a difference because she has cancer or she has diabetes or she has, any other condition that might be deemed to be terminal or uninsurable. So we'll just give it up, and that's the mindset that a lot of us have because we've heard that, even with the situation with, they're replacing President Obama's plan with Trump Care. See, I refuse to call it Obamacare because he never called it Obamacare. That's what the media. That's it. But I will call it Trump Care because now you're looking at people who, for the first time, in conditions, and they were able to get some form of insurance. But now they're trying to roll it back, and they say, well, only certain pre-existing conditions will be insurable. So to kick off thousands of people off of health care. And so that's the whole mindset. Pre-existing is taboo. If you have pre-existing, you can just hang it up because there's no hope for you. So what, I know you say it's case by case, but how do you give hope to people who, we have that mindset. We grew up with that mindset. We heard it. So now you're telling us might be a chance if your condition of qualification. But what if it doesn't?
Well, if it doesn't fall in line, I try to stay positive all the time, and we don't know, but I do check ahead of time. We have a lot of resources to determine, okay, if this is a pre-existing condition, what will happen. But ultimately, that's our underwriting decision, where they're going to ultimately look over their entire policy. But first, what I will say is the individual has to be honest. That's number one. Because I've had instances where we could have probably got it through, but the individual was not honest and did not get me all the information. So now that prevents a lot of things from happening. So the customers have to be honest with me when I'm asking them the questions. They have to give me the full details, because we can't get information from a doctor that says something totally different than what you said, because that changes the whole application process.
Honesty is the best policy, especially if you try to get an insurance policy. I remember years ago when I was selling insurance, I signed up a customer and they said they were a non-smoker. Well, we had tests in place to, verify that. We sent it off to the underwriter, to the labs and everything. And I had about 3 of them like that. They said, Kevin, they said, we're going to deny this policy. Why? Because, I just lost my camera. We're going to deny this policy because it came back as has been smoking. I said, they said they were non-smoker. I said they lied. So there were three possible policies that I lost. I think that's what I said, I ain't doing this. But yes, you have to be honest. And in all things, you should be honest. No matter what you're trying to do, you should be honest, because if you disclose all the information that the agent or the representative needs, then they know what they can, do. They have the resources and the tools to try to see if they can get you through there. But if you find out that you didn't tell me you had stage 4 cancer, maybe it was stage 1, I might have got it was treatable, but you got stage 4 and they gave you 6 months to live.
Yes.
And I'm sure that happens.
It does.
So tell me, I'm sure that's probably the hardest thing you have to tell somebody, that you can't do anything for them.
It is. It is. And sometimes it's so hard where I just have to tell myself, I just have to get on the phone. I just have to talk to the customer and explain the situation to them. Over time, it really don't get easier, but it's easier to pick up the phone. Easier to tell the customer, okay, now let's do something where we can make sure you're trying to save something, or let's talk to, the funeral directors to make sure you understand how much you need at that time to prepare your family ahead of time to the day of, and the family don't know what to do. And the insurance company said, well, we're not going to bury your child or bury your loved one because we need the money. Yeah, it's the same way in all things. As a realtor, you need information that's disclosed to you in order to sell a person's property or in order to help them to buy a property. And as a realtor, if you tell me that everything's okay on this end, everything's okay on this end, I'm taking your word for it, but I have things that I have to go through that's going to verify if it's okay. And then I come back, oh man, why didn't you tell me, when I told you don't make any major purchases 6 months, and then you didn't tell me that between that time you went and bought a brand new $40,000 car. And so now when the underwriters, give me back that application, don't tell me denied because you made a major purchase. Well, I just like that car, and I didn't think it was gonna make. No, I told you don't do it. So you have to disclose. You have to be honest if you want to receive the help that you're looking for. All right. So if I were in the market for insurance, because we have so many out there. We have, every time I turn around, it looks like there's another insurance company popping up. If I see Flo one more time, Flo got something. Now she's gone into the claymation and animation. I'm like, Flo is everywhere. So I think Flo, and then I had what's the you don't see the man that talked about the diminishing deductible. What's that one? That guy that was always, I forgot even the name of the company. But you have so many American Family. You have Allstate. You have
State Farm, you have Geico, you have Farmers, and so many. If I was in the market of insurance and I came to you, my question would be, why should I choose State Farm?
Okay. Our street insurance agency.
Wait a minute. Can I say? Yep. Notice, everybody, listen. I said entrepreneur. She is the owner. Now, listen. I wanted her to. That's the part I wanted her to bring out, because you know, in her background, she said she college graduate, the first one in her family. She inspired her to go on and finish college, and she's a woman of God, mighty woman of God, fearless woman of God. That's what she said. I was waiting for her to say she is the owner. She doesn't work for anyone else. She owns her own business. She writes her own check. All right? That's what I wanted her to get to. So, say that again. You are the what?
The owner.
The owner. See? Like owners. Let's go. All right.
Okay. So, as the owner of Street Insurance Agency on the west side of Chicago, I will say, number one, I was born and raised on the west side. On the west side of Chicago, everybody thought I was crazy. I started off as a scratch agent. I did not get anything handed to me. So 8 years later, since I'm still in business, I can say that every customer that I have that I personally brought, me or my team personally brought to the business, most of my business is based off referrals. So number one, if someone was coming to me for insurance, just like why I'm on this radio station today, it's from referral. Whether it's from myself or my dedicated team members, I have two wonderful team members, Shakrima Johnson and Brittany Hudson, who so if I'm not there, they know that one of them can definitely take care of them. During the summer months, I make sure, like right now, I have a college internship that's not giving back to the community. So just the experience that I've gained over the 8 years, my clients send customers to me. Number one, I will not steer a customer wrong. If I feel like our product is not the best product for customers, so for example, life insurance, a lot of companies have that 2-year waiting period, and State Farm does not have that 2-year waiting period. But I do review customers' life insurance policy to see if we can offer them something better. And if we can't, I will tell them to stay with their current company. If you want more insurance, let's look at it, but we're not going to cancel their current policy, because number one, I'm not going to put the customer in a difficult situation where their policy is not going to get paid out, or they're losing cash value, or whatever reason. So the client of mine that actually referred you to me is she was my client. Then I found out that she was my son's guidance counselor for high school. So we became very close. And, you know, she was recently in a situation where she, of course, had my cell phone number, and I walked her through it. She called me late at night, early in the morning, and she was like, LaTorya, I know I'm bothering you, but that's what I'm there for, because she didn't have anyone else to help her with the situation. Now, I cannot promise that I can do that for every client, because now I have a great book of business by being in the business for 8 years, but I try my best. I make sure that my staff is trained and knowledgeable, and that I'm available for the client. So,
and that client, a shout out, she is one of the members of Victory Temple, Minister Phyllis Mays. She was also, she was the registrar for Proviso West when my boys were there. But I tell you, when I told her, I said, I'm looking for some guests to be Saturday. You got to get her. You got to get her, Pastor. Pastor, you got to get her. Did you call her? I said, I called her, I talked to her, but she's busy. I mean, this woman is busy. And so, shout out to Phyllis Mays of Victory Temple, who referred LaTorya to be here on the show. And we know that like you said, your line of business, referrals are sometimes the best way to get businesses. Many of the businesses that are similar to yours, the real estate profession, the insurance, they receive a majority of their business through referrals from their current clients. And that's one thing that I know for a fact that from any industry, when they have current clients, they want to know, do you have any friends? Do you have any family members that you can refer to me? Provide them the same type of service. And you need to do that. Now, listen, I want everybody out there who does not have insurance. We're going to have LaTorya give her contact information at the end of the show, but I need you to get her contact information. Don't just say, a blanket thought or a blanket statement that I can't afford insurance. Talk to her. See what she can do for you. All right? Especially those that's on the west side. Listen, you know you need some insurance. You know you need some insurance. When Big Mama go, you don't want to have to do a GoFundMe, page. No, talk to her. Get everything straight before you need the insurance. That's the whole thing. Have insurance before you need insurance. Because once you need insurance, chances are it's too late.
Correct.
Now, do you deal in? I know you do life insurance, homeowners insurance, auto insurance.
Correct.
What about healthcare? Is that provided through your company?
Yes, we actually partner with Blue Cross Blue Shield to offer healthcare, and we also under the healthcare have short-term and long-term disability products as well.
Okay, and the reason why I said that because so many people they're working part-time jobs that doesn't offer insurance. They might not have a job, and they still need the healthcare insurance. So a lot of times they don't know who to go to for healthcare insurance. So you really need to speak to her. Blue Cross Blue Shield is one of the best insurance that you can have. It's recognized everywhere. And so they're partnered with Blue Cross Blue Shield. And so you need to really talk to her. Have a question. And for those of you that might have a question for LaTorya, you can also you can send the question via Facebook Live, or you can also call us 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953. And we can try to have your question answered on the air. But Demetria Brand Chiplet said, what do you recommend for clients do when dealing with getting homeowners or rental insurance when they discover that they are in a flood zone?
So when they discover they're in a flood zone, we do offer flood insurance, but we definitely want to start off by assessing, just getting the original policy started where we can get the flood insurance started with the policy as well. So FEMA offer flood insurance. Everyone's going to do the flood insurance through FEMA, but we partner with FEMA. Okay. So if they're in a flood zone, we're not going to only sell them the homeowners or the renters insurance. We're going to talk to them about flood insurance as well.
Because now a lot of people are finding out they're in a flood zone. I don't know, Earl, I don't know if, we're in the same category. Out here for years, it never flooded until they started messing around with the construction. And then all of a sudden, Bellwood, Maywood, and Broadview and every place started getting floods. So I don't know if we're really classified as a true flood zone or, because it came up and made devices.
But one thing that insurers need to make sure that they understand, there's a difference from flood and backup and sewer. Okay. So we do have endorsements on our policies for backup and sewer. I previously lived in Bellwood, and both of my instances with my basement was backup and sewer and not flood. So flood policies may or may not cover backup and sewer, but we do have endorsements on our homeowners policies for backup and sewer. So if the sewer water was to back up into the basement, then that's what we covered. There was two back to back in the city of Chicago where individuals suffered from that backup and sewer, and they thought they needed flood insurance. So as long as they have that backup and sewer portion on there, that'll help them cover that.
Yeah, I think anytime we just see standing water in our basement, we call it a flood.
Yeah, so it's a difference. You have to make sure you know the difference. If you go down there and you smell something, it could be backup and sewer. So.
But if the Des Plaines River is overflowing in your front yard, that's a flood. And so we just thank God. Any other questions, feel free to send it up by way of Facebook Live or call us. I want to see how your faith ties into what you're doing since you started your own business. I know you had to do it by faith.
Yes.
How has your faith helped you to become successful? Because you've been doing, you say 8 years now?
Correct.
8 years is a sign of success, because many people start out in their own business and many times they don't last more than 5 years. Because you've gone past that. I'm sure within 8 years, you say at first you started from scratch, and when you first start your business, you end up putting you reinvest in the business. A lot of the money you make, you put back in the business to grow it. I'm sure you're at the point now where you're actually starting to see the profits from your business. So how has your faith helped you become successful?
It has really been tested over the 8 years. There's times when I had a big smile on my face, and there was times where I had to push myself to get out the door, especially being a single mother with 2 kids, trying to run a business and trying to make sure that my household is fine. But the book that I always go to in the Bible, my favorite book, is Ecclesiastes, chapter 3. That talks about there's a time for everything. And so every day I write down my I ams, and I have to tell myself, I am strong. I look in the mirror, I am positive. When I get negative, I have to push myself. And when I read that chapter in the book, when it talks about there's a time to cry, there's a time to be happy, and there's a time to be sad. So I knew that my time was coming. So I couldn't quit. As the Bible says, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Anyone who's been to Pastor Hannah's church, we always read Ephesians 3:20. So all of those things just have pushed me, just staying strong, knowing that I had to do this for my kids, for my family, for myself. I had to maybe go in my closet or hide under my desk and cry so they wouldn't see it. But that you have to learn in faith is that when you need to cry, cry. When you need to smile, smile. But you all can see today I'm always smiling. So no one really would know sad or anything because I always keep a smile on my face because I love my smile. I have a beautiful smile, wouldn't you all say? So as you all can see, I love myself, right? But it's hard. I can tell you it's hard. It's been tested. You have to keep positive people around you. Mm-hmm. So there's times when I wanted to quit, and then I've talked to somebody that I've pushed to keep on going when they wanted to quit, and they answer to me will be, if you were talking to me, you would, and the stuff that you're saying, you would not let me get away with that. So I can't let you get away with that. Just seeing, for example, last week, my niece graduated from law school. So I feel like that's a product of me. I have to stay strong for my family.
Cool. And you're establishing a legacy for your children.
Correct.
Because not just a monetary legacy, because you're leaving an inheritance for them, but you are establishing a pattern of living after you. If mom did it, and actually they could be in line to inherit the business. They can go into the business. Mm-hmm. It can turn into a family business, and so that's what it's about: leaving a legacy to business, entrepreneurship behind for those that's coming after you. You mentioned your nieces, and especially the nieces graduating law school. The legacy you left behind for her is to be, you were the first one. Mm-hmm. And that nothing is impossible, no matter where you grow up, no matter what side of the track you grow up on. I grew up on the west side of Polk and Kedzie. Mm-hmm. Born, we were living on Washington and Central, moved to Polk and Kedzie, and statistics and society would say that, just like the scripture says, does any good thing come out of Nazareth? A lot of people say, does any good thing come off the west side, south side? It's not about where you came from, but it's about what was put into you that determines your success. Bound by where I grew up. I didn't have a block mentality. You know what a block mentality is? When the people got their license, especially the brothers, they got in the car.
Block. Okay.
They just drove around the block. I can understand that. They got their license. They had access to a car. The whole day driving around the block. They put gas in the car to drive around the block. And I kept saying there has to be life outside of the block.
Yes.
And the minute I got my license, in my mother's car, Earl, I went outside of the block. I learned how to travel the city. And so many young people don't even know how to get downtown, get to the south side, because they have the block mentality. And so it's the same way. Because we've been in a situation for so long, we grew up this way. We're used to people saying that this is all we'll ever be. We developed that block mentality. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for some. But until you dare to get off the block or get out of that way of thinking, you'll never succeed. And you have defied the block mentality. And that's the legacy that you're passing on to those that are behind you. So, got a question that came in. We talk about insurance, but we have people out there who have businesses. Do you offer commercial or business insurance?
Yes, we do offer small business and commercial insurance, and also commercial auto insurance as well.
Okay. And now I got a question.
Okay.
I got a hoopty. It's 20 years old. It's in good working condition. But it's 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, they don't even make the car anymore. All right. Maybe it's like a Pontiac that's gone.
Okay.
I want full coverage because my car means a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I go to the insurance company, they said you can't get full coverage. You're gonna get just liability, and that's it.
Because you're going to the wrong insurance company.
So with you, can I get full coverage on my 20-year-old hoopty?
You can get full coverage on your 20-year-old hoopty. I cannot deny you full coverage. Okay. And I know that you've probably been going to the substandard companies, because I have people coming to me and say, well, they told me I couldn't get full coverage down the street. Why could you give me full coverage? What I tell my clients is, please do evaluation of your car. At the time that the car is in a total loss, if you feel like that you do not want to walk away from that car and get zero coverage on your car.
So I can get full coverage on my 20-year-old Yugo.
Right. But understand that you're only going to get what the car is worth if it was totaled.
Well, that's better than nothing, because the reason why I said it, and it's humorous, but that is a reality. People, they purchase a used car,
mm-hmm.
and that car, they want full coverage. They don't want the car to get into an accident and then they're stuck back on the bus again without anything,
mm-hmm.
without even a down payment on another car.
Right.
I've been denied full. I bought a car. I had a car. I remember it was a Oldsmobile Calais. I forgot when I bought it, but they told me I couldn't get full coverage on it. I'm like, what? So someone stole the car. They gave me liability, but I'm like, if I had full coverage, I would have got a little more for it, at least, because it wasn't that old, but it was, they said it just didn't qualify to be a full coverage. Now, is it based upon really how much you're willing to spend for the insurance itself? In other words, if you want full coverage, am I paying more for the full coverage when?
Everyone's price is going to be different, and there are several factors that plays into the price, and mm-hmm. one of them is the car, and one of them is the individual and where they live at. So it's full coverage does cost more than liability, and then most of the times I can tell you that in my company we haven't denied anyone full coverage that wanted full coverage, unless maybe the car has been totaled out previously, was already deemed a total loss, and they haven't done a repair. So there's just a few things why we wouldn't be able to get full coverage. But if it's just only because they feel like the car is not worth full coverage, we can't deny you for getting full coverage.
All right. So this is why, and I don't have a problem with the race, but this is why African Americans, sometimes we need to deal with our own people. Many times we need to purchase and patronize our own people, because they know where we're coming from. Shout out to Carol Jones, and Phyllis Mays is watching. And I heard you mention, said it depends also where you are living, the area you live in.
Mm-hmm.
So that might explain why people live in Chicago, and they register their car somewhere else so they can get a lower insurance rate. I live on Polk and Kedzie, but I'm a registered car in Westchester. Is that a myth, or is it really true that Westchester would give them a lower rate as opposed to living in Chicago and registering in Chicago?
That's possible that they'll get the lower rate in Westchester than they would in Chicago.
Okay. Now, all you people, I want y'all to be honest, you people of God. Your car should be registered where you live. Amen. Phyllis says, amen, deal with my peeps. And I know it's comical, but we want to try to lighten the mood when it comes to insurance, because basically our people just don't have insurance, or they don't have enough insurance. And like I said earlier, the insurance before you need the insurance, because getting the insurance after the fact is just going to be detrimental to you. It's going to cost you more money. Go ahead and get the insurance. Talk to LaTorya, find out, I have X amount of dollars, in my budget that can go towards insurance. What can you do for me? And State Farm is a reputable company. Been around for many, many, many years. I remember seeing State Farm commercial when I was little, and I've been living quite a while. So they're a reputable company, and I call them one of the big three. I don't know who's number one, State Farm, Allstate, but they're one of the major forces of insurance that you can really bank on. You can really with, and especially when you have agents such as LaTorya and some others that you can really trust, that will not only just be an agent to you, but they'll be a guiding mentor for insurance. State Farm name is all over the place. They sponsor so many events. I believe they're a sponsor of the McDonald's Gospel Fest. They're a sponsor of the Auto Show. And so they get into the community. They're involved in community events, and so you really need to contact her. And how can they reach you?
So they can reach me. My office is located at 5937 West Madison. That's right off of Madison and Austin. Our office number is 773-3638. And Facebook, we are on Facebook. It should be LaTorya Street State Farm Agency on Facebook.
All right, so she's located in a very convenient spot. If you're in the village of Oak Park, she's right there on the border. Right. And if you're in the hood, she's right there on the border. Everybody can reach her. Very central location, and you really need to patronize her. Listen, share this particular Facebook feed. Share it, because your family, your friends, your loved ones, they need to know about Street Insurance Agency. They need to know about LaTorya. They need to know that they must have. It's not really a choice. You must have insurance in this day and time. You must have it, because the reality is this: if you're a homeowner, your home may burn down one day. You need the insurance. If you are a renter, that apartment may burn down or anything can happen to it. You need insurance. If you are living, you will die one day. You need insurance, and the insurance is really not for you. It's for your family members. Amen. And so and if you have a car, you definitely need insurance, because if you're caught without it, you have at least a $500 fine to pay. So you want to make sure that you have the insurance that you need for whatever. And then that way you can go to her office, see her smile, and see her assistants, and let them work for you. They want to work for you. They want to provide you assurance and security that should anything happen, right? Because they're your good neighbors. And so we just thank God for her. Again, shout out to our sponsors, Ms. Longstreet, 708-240-4060, and you can contact her for enrolling your child that is age 6 weeks to 12 years of age. They're experienced licensed family child care provider located in the Hillside community. Listen, I know her. You can really do good by allowing her to watch your children. Hours are 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they are CDA, CPR, and first aid certified, and they offer a nurturing, safe, and smoke-free environment. And then Nature Sunshine, listen, all of us need to eat better. We need to take care of our bodies better. There's no sense in waiting till you get a bad diagnosis from the doctor to try to put your body in good working order. You can take that and you can take the initiative and patronize Nature Sunshine and get your body in good working order before the doctor tell you that your body is in bad order. If you have high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, fibromyalgia, cancer, arthritis, or any other condition in your body, Alzheimer, dementia, they have things that help the mind. They have things that help the blood circulation. They have things that help the respiratory system. So you need to contact Nature Sunshine. And my wife, Dr. Karen McGee, is 708-302-5655, and she can be a help to you. And then if you want your skin to be healthy, Mary Kay Skincare Systems, you can contact her for that as well. And don't forget, tomorrow, 4 o'clock p.m., Victory Temple Church of God in Christ will be in their Family Day celebration, embracing the family. And our speaker will be the Pastor Edgar Aaron of the Everybody Bible Church. And if you want to be a sponsor of Connections, you can contact me. Listen, we have crazy affordable prices for sponsorship. And it will help to get your business out there, your organization out there, your name out there, and we'll connect you to the right individual. So contact me on Facebook, or you can email me at bishop1915@gmail.com. Toya, I'm glad to have you here. Thank you.
For the invite.
And we'll bring you back later on. We want to talk this insurance segment quite a few times through the course of this year, because everybody needs to know about insurance. So we'll be bringing you back on. All right. Stay tuned for Humanities and the Headlines right here on IntellectualRadio.com. God bless you.